here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Philly special. Ready? Here we go. Easy. Kill. Play.
But that was a taste of what he was supposed to be.
Last year hurts.
Oh, and how this will all work out. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see the first play if they don't try to give the football to Terrell Owens.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DSM Media presents Trending for Four Quarters, the special Thanksgiving week episode. We're kind of winging it. We're combining Trending for Four Quarters and DFS No Punt Intended tonight. We won't be doing a show tomorrow night. So we're going to do a little bit of everything. We're going to talk Thanksgiving. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk fantasy football. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. And real quick, before we get into the show, obviously, we're sponsored by Manscaped. Trending is the promo code you want to use for 20% off and free shipping. But on Black Friday, it's going to be 25% off and free shipping. So make sure you check out manscaped.com, the leader in men's grooming products. Check them out. The best, the GOAT at their products there. They're the Michael Jordan of men's grooming products. I love them. So check them out. Use promo code Trending and lets them know that I sent you. Real quick, I've got Jason Sullivan, my fantasy football partner there. I got my man Scotty here for a few minutes. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk Thanksgiving football. But I want to start the show off with a little thing here. Back in July, I left the previous network I was with that I helped build from the ground up. And I want to say I'm thankful for the opportunity. When I left and it got out there that I was gone, first person that reached out to me was Mr. Scotty right here. And I'm I didn't know what I was going to do when I decided to leave my previous network. Didn't know what was going to happen. This boy, he called me within minutes of it. And I just want to say I'm super, super thankful for you, Scotty. I'm super, thankful for Dylan for bringing me on, putting me part of the team, but also like becoming friends and, everything that you guys have done for me. So I want to say super thankful for you and Dylan and the entire team DSM right now.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, Phil. And, I've tried to make it as clear as day, whenever you became a free agent there for the short period that you did, that we wanted you to be a part of the team. Hey, I had been trying to work with you and Jason, regularly for a while. So, I've always liked what you guys do, loved your content, and like you guys as a person as well. I got love for you guys. So it's all appreciated. I'm thankful for the DSM team, and I'm thankful that you guys are a part of it.
And Jason, I got to say, I'm thankful that you're home. I'm thankful that Jax is doing better and in his own bed tonight.
Yes,
maybe he'll even do a run-in. I just want to say that entire team DSM has been thinking of you and sending positive vibes your way. I know it's been a really rough last 8 or 9 days. So, I'm thankful that you're back home and going to be able to enjoy a good Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we're pumped. You guys talked to him before the show. He's so excited to be home. He just can't wait to sleep in his own bed. He's playing with all of his toys, eating all the candy that Phil got him. So, yeah, he's happy. He's a happy boy. He seems pretty symptom-free right now, so that's good news.
That is
a long 8 days.
Yeah, that there is the most important thing to be thankful for right now. A healthy son, everybody back home for the holidays. It's awesome news. But let's transition to football. Thursday, tomorrow, Thanksgiving, huge football day. And growing up, we all sat around the TV watching football on Thanksgiving. I want to get your guys' opinion. I talked about it in Trending in the AM this morning with Jason Voorhees about the tradition of football on Thanksgiving and how the NFL runs it right now, where it's always the Detroit Lions, it's always the Dallas Cowboys, no matter how good or bad they are. And Scotty, you're a big NBA guy. I was trying to compare it to how the NBA does Christmas, and they pick specific matchups and games that are going to draw fans in. But the NFL has their tradition of doing it the same way, same teams year in and year out. So, Scotty, I'll start with you. How do you feel about Thanksgiving and the football and the fact that it's always the Lions, it's always the Cowboys? Do you even still get hyped up for football on Thanksgiving?
I do. The fact that you get 3 nationally televised games and you get to watch them individually, you don't usually get to watch that much football within one day, just because usually either if I'm not watching the Eagles, then I'm watching like Red Zone, trying to see who's scoring in fantasy. So, getting the opportunity to watch one game solely, I still appreciate that. I appreciate the tradition of it in a sense. But yeah, if in reality, we would like some marquee matchups, right? Like, I guess, when they pick this schedule, the Bills and the Saints, I don't know where that comes from. You know what I mean? For them to be playing tomorrow. Is that, or either of them teams, I may be forgetting here, or either of those teams regulars on Thanksgiving?
No. The night game never seems
the
to
Lions
be the regular.
And the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Jason, you're a Detroit Lions fan. Has it become almost annoying to the extent that your team plays on a holiday, or do you guys in Detroit still get super pumped up no matter how bad the team is because all eyes in the country are on you guys tomorrow morning?
Yeah. We do get pumped. That game, I've been to that game on Thanksgiving a few times. It's really fun. Just the atmosphere down there, it's different than a normal game, which is cool. The reason the NFL does what they do is because of the money. Ford Motor Company is one of the biggest sponsors of the NFL that there is, maybe even the biggest sponsor. And then obviously the Cowboys, what they bring with the national audience and all the money and everything. So it's all about the money. It's never going to change. As long as the Ford family still owns the Lions, unfortunately, it's never going to change. To me, it used to be cool when the Lions were at least relevant. They're not anymore, obviously. But, I always think back in like the Barry Sanders days and even like Stafford and Calvin days, like those days were fun and the team was competitive. Now they're not even competitive. So it's almost embarrassing. We're trotting Tim Boyle out there tomorrow at quarterback. So the whole, first of all, that first game in general, Andy Dalton against Tim Boyle might be the worst possible NFL game that there is. But
at least
it's not going to change.
At least it's Lions Bears, division rivals. You got the Cowboys playing the Raiders and the Bills playing Saints. Teams that have literally no physical rival built in. The Raiders are a middling team. The Bills are struggling. The Saints were, I don't know, they are what they are. I need as a non-Lions fan or a non-Cowboys fan, I need something to draw me into each game to really have my focus. And those other 2 games, I'm actually more excited for the Lions-Bears game because of the rivalry than I am the other 2 games.
They should do like a rivalry in the second game too. Have the Cowboys play, the Eagles or the Redskins or something or the Giants.
I swear they did one Thanksgiving, didn't they? Didn't the Eagles play the Cowboys?
There've been a few. I still remember the first time in 1992. I want to say it was the Eagles played on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys, 93, something like that. And I know there was a scrum before the game as the teams were stretching on the field. And the offensive lineman, Ron Heller, ended up breaking his hand to the Eagles. He was one of the starting offensive linemen because he got into a fight and he punched a helmet. And punching a helmet is not a good thing. We'll just say that. Yeah. Well, Adam checking in saying Lions get their first win tomorrow. All right, Scotty, I know I only have a few minutes of your time. How do you see the 3 games playing out tomorrow real quick?
So I kind of have this, instinctual feeling that the Lions could win tomorrow, especially with Andy Dalton at quarterback. And something that has drawn my interest to this game, I actually made a few trades in my Dynasty League this week. So I actually made a trade for DeAndre Swift. So I made an investment in him. So here's what sparked this series of moves. I ended up getting an offer of Tyreek Hill, Miles Sanders, and a 3rd-round pick for Devontae Smith and a 1st-round pick. So I got Tyreek Hill and Miles Sanders for Devontae Smith and a 1st-round pick, basically. So then this sparked my interest. I'm thinking I'm going all in this year. Like if I'm getting that type of deal right now, there's like a $600, bet at the end of it that you can win. So I'm going all in. I ended up trading Kamara for DeAndre Swift and Chase Claypool. In a thought of, one, I'm getting a healthy DeAndre Swift. I'm getting rid of a banged-up Kamara. But also, Kamara is older than DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is a nice 22-year-old, nice piece for the future. So I'm a little bit invested in that game. I would like to see DeAndre Swift take over Thanksgiving Day.
For those dynasty people out there, I've seen a lot of people posting that Kamara is on a downward trend for dynasty fantasy football for sure.
Yeah.
So getting rid of him and getting Swift back, I think it's a great move. I know you got to maneuver picks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's a great. Yeah, I actually almost think you stole Swift there for Kamara.
I feel like he did too, because he's outperforming Kamara this season as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look at their numbers game to game, he's outperforming him.
Yeah,
Not to mention you got Claypool too. Claypool,
Claypool's he's a nice young receiver.
Yeah, I don't think somebody knew what they were doing there.
No, if Pittsburgh ever gets a quarterback, you're going to be in great shape.
No. I got Joe Burrow, so I got him for the next few seasons, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going for it this season. But as far as the other games, so we're looking at Las Vegas and Dallas.
Yep.
Dallas better win this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm feeling, if they lose this one, who else could they lose to? I know they're banged up right now. Everybody's been talking about how they're a shell of themselves without Tyron Smith. So, the Raiders killed us with their pass rush, and we have a pretty good offensive line. So I would expect them to bring the pass rush tomorrow against the Cowboys. It's going to be a tough one. I think the Raiders play them tough, on the national stage. As far as the Saints and the Bills, I think the Bills take care of that. They got embarrassed last weekend by the Colts. They definitely need to come out and take care of business against the Saints. You saw how limited the Saints are with their quarterback situation. So, how are you guys feeling?
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the Lions game because of the Nagy situation. The rumors that Nagy is being fired Friday morning, and it wasn't like DSM Media with no credentials dropped this, rumor. This is NBC Sports Chicago. A legit, or it's basically the John Clark. Jason doesn't know who that is. It's basically the John Clark of Chicago. Dropping that knowledge and that rumor. So to me, there's some truth to it. And this is the.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's an awful thing that they did, saying
it's
that
so
if
awful,
that rumor is leaked, if it's true, that's a really awful thing to do, is leak that rumor. Absolutely, especially it's just awful.
That's not right.
Jason,
I swear.
No,
is Chicago going to beat Detroit, or can they get their win?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't know. So I was looking at all these betting lines right before we got on, and I feel like the lines are all super accurate. So I don't know. I don't have a gut. I think if I was most confident about any of them, it'd be Buffalo over New Orleans, just for the reasons that you just said. But Las Vegas and Dallas, that's a pretty big spread, 7.5. Vegas isn't bad. They're a tough team. I mean, they could give Dallas some problems. And Detroit and Chicago, I just don't. I have no feeling on this at all. I love Swift, but he's all we have pretty much at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Tim Boyle, I don't have a whole heck of a lot of faith. The guy can't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field, so kind of worry about it. It is crappy what they did to Nagy. He is a terrible coach. We all know that, and they said that he lost the locker room, so that's the biggest thing. But if you lose a locker room in the NFL, you're not getting it back. I mean, we know that. No. So it's interesting. I feel bad for him, but at the same time,
don't let that rumor leak. All leaks and all rumors in the NFL come because someone purposely leaks it. It's not. It's not what people think. Where there's a guy with a wiretap or sneaking around in a back alleyway getting this information. Most of these kind of leaks are purposely done. So I just don't. I think it's bad timing. I feel bad for Nagy, and like Jason said, he's not a good coach, but you cannot expect to go in and win a football game when your coach is pretty much on the outs. The next day. You know what I mean? So. It's a really tough situation. I feel bad for some of those players because there's some talented players that are young in Chicago, and they're wasting some of their development time. Justin Fields wasting development time right now. Yeah. So it's a shame. It really is. And I agree with you.
They look like a confused organization. The whole thing with the Andy Dalton stuff at the beginning, and then Justin Fields, and then back to Andy Dalton, then back to Justin. You can't run an organization like that. And I don't know if that's Nagy, getting his hand forced in certain situations. Maybe when he wanted to bring Dalton back, they forced his hand to put Fields back out there. It's hard to say whenever you have situations like that, but either way, whoever's running that show right there, and if it's Nagy that takes the blame for it, hopefully it is him that's making those decisions. But it's just sloppy. And, we've been down this road with quarterback situations and offense is not built around the quarterback's strengths. We've dealt with that plenty in Philadelphia we can relate to. So just a messy situation they've created when they have such a nice prospect in Justin Fields.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Scotty, I know you said you only had 15 minutes, so I got to get you out of here real quick.
Yes,
3
sir.
seconds. The Eagles win on Sunday and keep their momentum going.
It is everybody's talking about it. It is a trap game. I do believe that, but I do think the Eagles formula, it's hard to deny, what they're doing right now. It's one thing if they were doing this against some bad defenses, but they go out there, they go against the Broncos, a great rushing defense. They run all over them. It's literally the Saints are the best rushing defense in the NFL. They run the ball down their throats, and I don't see when New York Giants have such a bad rushing defense, why that would change, on Sunday. Oh, I get it's a division rivalry game, but I think the Eagles take care of business.
Yeah, I agree with you, 110%.
How you feeling about the Sixers and Warriors tonight?
Well, on paper, it should be a complete and total blowout, but you never know. We'll
never know.
We'll see. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm lucky
Curry
that they got decent cable up here in the mountains, so I'll have that game on at 10:30.
Curry
sure,
and Green are in, so we'll
They
see.
both are in?
Yeah, if they can get hot, man, I would like one, but we don't have to push it tonight, though. But
Exactly. And Joel will be back really soon.
Yeah, exactly. But guys, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. Always appreciate getting to chat with you guys, and hopefully we can do a full episode here soon, and I can collaborate with you both. But definitely enjoy the holiday, and if you have some time tomorrow morning, check out Turf Talk. I will be previewing all the games tomorrow as well. So definitely enjoy, guys. Peace.
Sounds good, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
All right, let's get back into this Lions, the Nagy thing. I still think that it's really hard for me to even consider the Bears winning tomorrow.
I was thinking the same thing.
I just can't see how you could get up as a football player and listen to your coach when he's got no support in the rest of the locker room. And also, even if he doesn't get fired on Friday, know now that rumor has been leaked, that there's no confidence in the front office, and he's going to be gone at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if it sounds weird because Goff is terrible, but if Goff was playing, I would have so much confidence in the Lions winning tomorrow. The fact that it's the backup and he looked so awful last week makes me a little bit nervous. Chicago's defense is not bad. They're not as good as they used to be. We know that, but they're not bad.
Right.
I mean, the Lions defense has been relatively good. And so I don't see this game being super high scoring. I don't even know what the over-under is. I can't imagine it's higher than
it was 41, I think, or 40 and a half or 41.
I was going to guess
like
like 24, but all right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
How bad – because we're going to talk fantasy football here and start trying to figure out, because I love the Thursday, and just like I love the Christmas NBA fantasy action as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only day I do fantasy basketball. On the DraftKings board for quarterbacks tomorrow, Marcus Mariota, the backup for the Raiders, is priced higher than Tim Boyle, the starter for the Lions. That is how bad Tim Boyle is. Does that not tell you anything right there?
Yeah, he is so bad. I mean, they have David Blau, who has played in the past too. I don't understand why you don't play him. I mean, Boyle looked so bad. I know he's been around the NFL for a while.
Isn't Josh Johnson available for his 47th team?
Well, yeah, and they're like, oh, he's been around the league for a while. Yeah, but that doesn't really mean anything. Chase Daniel's been the same way. The dude's made a killing off of being a backup quarterback.
There's got to be some random backup quarterback that's out there or on a practice squad right now that you can go get right now because
exactly.
It's pretty bad. Let's talk DraftKings. We're not doing a DFS no punt intended show tomorrow. We're going to do it tonight. We're going to talk fantasy football because, like I said, I love doing the 3-game slate for Thanksgiving. I'm not going to invest tons of money. I'm going to do 1 or 2 lineups, but I just think it's so much fun to sit there, like Scotty said, watching a game specifically, knowing there's just one game on at a time, and doing that. And when you've got 3 games like that, and you're going to do a 3-game slate, do you try to spread your lineups out, your lineup out over all the games? or if you like one game the most, just go all in and heavy on that one game. Because I tend to always try to spread out, but it's not necessarily the right strategy all the time.
Right. I remember last year the Lions played Houston, and I went huge on Deshaun Watson. Like I had Deshaun Watson in every game just because
I think I did the same thing.
Yeah, and he blew up. I think he had like 30 points or something like that. He played really well. But I'm actually going to load up a lot on the last game in hopes of – I'm going to take my chances early, I should say. That's the best way to put it. My chance plays are going to be in the early games because if I need to do something crazy in the end, I want to know that I can pivot off of some more expensive guys like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. So I'm going to probably go heavy Buffalo stack tomorrow because I think that's the best team that's playing tomorrow. I think that's not really a secret. I mean, they have the highest priced quarterback, the highest priced receiver. So it's not a huge thing, but I also think there's some value in that game. Kamara didn't practice yet. I know that Ingram didn't practice either today, but I think Ingram's ahead of Kamara in terms of playing tomorrow. So I'm going to go really heavy.
Kamara's already been, as of now, I just refreshed my screen and he's been ruled out.
Okay. So yeah,
Kamara's
Ingram
definitely out.
too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ingram's a huge value play tomorrow. 6,100 is his price. I mean, he's been really solid since he's been the starter. So yeah, I'm going to go heavy at the end. What are you going to do?
Well, see, I was trying to figure it out, and I was trying to build different things. And, I want to play that Dallas game. I really do because I think it could be the biggest shootout of the three games.
For sure.
But I also feel like because of Cooper being out, because of CeeDee Lamb being out, I think the wide to stack Prescott with Michael Gallup might be a little too chalky. No one's going to take Boyle. Maybe someone will, and that'll be the guy that gets the $1 million tomorrow or something like that because maybe he throws 2 touchdowns. But most likely, you have to basically decide, are you going Dak Prescott and Michael Gallup, or are you going Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs? And I think that's where every single lineup being built tomorrow, you have to make the decision which one of those 2 stacks or mini stacks to start with, and then go with the rest of your lineup from there. And I'm leaning towards the Diggs Allen because, like Scotty said, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder to, make up for that embarrassment last week against the Colts.
Well, and they've been so hit and miss too. It's like one week they look like the worst team in the league. The next week, Josh Allen puts up 40 points. I mean, they've been so hit and miss. And so, yeah, he's definitely the best quarterback on the slate. I was trying to convince myself that I should play a stack with the Lions-Bears game, but I couldn't stomach either one of those quarterbacks. I was looking, I'm like, I'm not playing Boyle. So I'm like, how bad is Dalton? He averages like 8 points a game. I'm like, he's really bad. So I don't know. I feel like you need to get different in different spots. I feel like quarterback, a sneaky one tomorrow might be Derek Carr because I think he's going to be a lower owned. I think everybody's going to go towards Dak and Josh Allen. So Derek Carr might be a decent one. He's been okay, kind of hit and miss too, but I feel like that might be
much better at the beginning of the season than he is now.
For sure.
So,
honestly,
with everything that's going on in the Raiders, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, and looking at the other games, the Daltons and the Boyles and even the Carrs, it's like, well, who do you stack them with? Because none of them have. I mean, I guess you got Henry Ruggs. I think Henry Ruggs will probably be a pretty fairly high owned guy tomorrow. Because
not Ruggs.
Not Ruggs. Sorry, I don't know. Hunter Renfrow.
Jesus. Oh, Renfrow.
Yeah, Hunter Renfrow. Whoops.
Ruggs is in the
one up there. Talk one up to Pocono's vacation partying right there. It's only my first blunder of the day. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a bad little slip up. There's just nobody to pair with these guys. There just really isn't. Same thing with tight end even. Like you could take a chance on some of these guys, but say Cole Kmet for the Bears. Are you going to take a chance on him knowing that Andy Dalton's the quarterback or, some of these other you just can't. So I think you've got to try to find that 1 or 2 sneaky cheap plays from those games. But I think you have to go with the rest of the crowd and either go Bills or if you want to go Derek Carr, I guess I could go with that, but you're going to have to stick to those 2 games. You're absolutely going to have to.
I think what you do tomorrow, I think you're right. You have to stick with those 2 games for sure. And I think you have to play Allen or Dak, and you can get different in different spots, though. Maybe do a bigger stack than you normally would in that game. Maybe try to find a couple lower-owned pieces. But you have to do something that differentiates yourself. So, like, what I'm going to do probably tomorrow is I'm going to do a large Buffalo stack, and I'm also going to put their defense in, too, in hopes that they shut down
the Buffalo defense.
The Saints. Yeah. Which I don't normally do. But I feel like you got to kind of expand your stacks a little bit tomorrow.
Is the Lions defense a bad play? Or is that could be actually kind of chalky to an extent?
I think it's a great play. I think the Bears defense is a great play too. I mean, that game might be 6-3. So yeah.
I kind of had in my mind, 16-16 again. I know the odds of that happening are pretty much next to 0. but it's going to be an under 35-point game. And look, I mean, say what you want to say about the Browns and how bad Baker Mayfield and that team is playing this year. They're still a pretty potent offense, and they held them to 13 points last week. So, I said I like the Detroit Lions defense last week, and I think I'm going to roll with them again this week. But outside of that, I'm really struggling to come up with those cheap value plays. Like I like to look at wide receiver because running back, it's so thin on a 3-game slate at running back. It really is. So you look at wide receiver and you go to those sub 5K guys. You got Emmanuel Sanders, you got Khalif Raymond, Cole Beasley. These are all guys that are so up and down. It's kind of hard to choose which way to go. I kind of think he'll be highly owned for a 3,500 price guy. Cedric Wilson, maybe you take a stab at him instead of Gallup because Gallup's obviously going to be one of the top wide receivers taken. But I kind of feel like Wilson might even be pretty highly taken tomorrow. Yeah,
I think so too. Especially like you said, with both of those receivers out, like Cooper and who's the other one?
CD.
Why am I CD? Yeah.
CD
with both of them being out, I mean they don't have that many options. I think the tight ends are probably going to be big tomorrow, so that'll be an interesting one. But everyone's going to play them, so you're going to have to find that different. Unless you play all of them, that's going to be the unique build probably.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you go take a stab at someone like Deshaun Jackson, at 3,100. I mean, he had no targets last week, so that's kind of a bad play. But he's had a couple big plays this year between the Rams and the Raiders. Maybe that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to take a stab. So if you're only playing one or two lineups, it's kind of tough, because you got to get your one or two picks right instead of playing 20 lineups where you got 20 different random guys in there. But I still think there's value in playing the most popular stack tomorrow because it's such a small field. It's like when you play those showdown slates and you got somebody that's 70% owned in it. You kind of have to have them. No, you're good.
Sorry, my kid was telling me something. No, I completely agree with you, though. I completely agree with you. That's what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to find that unique one. And Deshaun Jackson is actually one I was thinking about too because he catches one pass for 50 yards and a touchdown. Boom, it pays off.
Then he pays off.
So yeah,
it's kind of like my Matt Collins plays every so often.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at this board. Let's try. I don't know what we're doing this week if we're having a competition or not. But I want to take it off or put the board up here. I'm going to try to build a stack here real quick, and I'm going to see what you think of it. I'm just winging it here right now, but to see where doing this. What's that?
Jackson's
no, he's good. Does he want to make a pick?
Do you want to make a pick?
He can make a pick.
Who do you want to pick? See Josh Allen.
Philip.
He wants to pick Philip.
He wants to pick Philip. Let me type in Philip and see if there's a Philip playing tomorrow. There is no Philip playing tomorrow. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. You just farted.
Oh, jeez. This show is off the chain tonight. Happy
off
Thanksgiving
the rails,
everybody. All right. Let's see what I can do here real quick. Let's go Josh Allen. Let's go Stefan Diggs. I'm going to throw the Detroit Lions defense in there. But where do you go from here with the running back situation? I guess you can go Swift, maybe Montgomery. No, maybe you take Tony Pollard.
If Ingram plays tomorrow, he's for sure going to be in my lineups.
All right, let's get an updated list here on Ingram. He's still questionable. Yeah, all right, let's say Ingram plays. So we play Ingram and Pollard to be one really strong, one different person. We run over here to tight end.
So in my lineup that I made so far, I put Knox in because I think expanding that, I don't think too many people are going to play him. I think he has like a broken hand or something, but he got a lot of targets last week. I think he had 8 targets. So I think putting him in with that stack helps make you a little bit unique.
All right, so throw Deshaun Jackson in as a cheap play at wide receiver, since we both agreed that there's a good random thought. Hunter Renfrow. You can't play Renfrow and Deshaun, can you?
I actually really like Marquise Goodwin this week from Chicago. He played when Dalton came in the game last week. Godwin was his name? Goodwin, not Godwin.
Yeah, Goodwin. Marquise Goodwin.
He got a ton of targets last week when Dalton was in there. So I like that as kind of a sneaky play.
All right, so we'll go Goodwin, and then that leaves us with enough to put Ezekiel Elliott in there as your running back.
Yeah, that's solid.
I'm just not feeling. You can't go Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard though.
True.
That's kind of counterproductive there. So you take him out. I don't know. You go Josh Jacobs, maybe. It's going to be a shootout. Maybe he gets a touchdown. I don't know. I'm not liking this build right now. This is like my first try at this, really. I was messing around a little bit earlier, but this is sketchy in my opinion. Putting this lineup out there right now is very sketchy in my opinion.
I don't mind one running back play I don't mind is Montgomery from Chicago against the Lions. Their defense has been okay, but their run defense has been terrible. So I think playing anybody against them, that's a good running back. And he is a good running back, so I don't mind that.
All right, let's clear this out. Why don't you give me a stack, however you would do it?
So I am going to stack Allen, Diggs, and Knox to start, and Buffalo's defense.
So basically, pretty close to the start that I had, just with the different defense.
Yep.
So Knox and Buffalo's defense. All right. That still actually leaves you a lot of money left over still.
So in my lineup that I made, just like kind of going through, I put Traquan Smith at receiver and Ingram at running back to kind of go with a little bit of on the safe side. So I'm obviously going really heavy in that last game.
Yes, absolutely. It's okay.
Sorry.
No, it's
and then
all
it kind of
good.
leaves you open. I don't know kind of where to go in these two spots. So I have Goodwin in one of my lineups there. But that left me with Waller in the flex spot, which I don't know. Waller's like really up and down too. I don't have a ton of faith in him. What are your thoughts on him?
When I was trying before the show, I did end up with Waller in the flex too. And sometimes I don't mind playing a tight end in the flex, especially Travis Kelce. But tomorrow in a small slate, I almost think you could Waller. I don't know, but in a small slate like that, you can justify the tight end in the flex position just because there's so many few elite options that you have to play. So, do you like Waller tomorrow or not? That's the question. If you do like him, I could definitely get behind that, and it's going to probably be the highest shootout game there is. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't be opposed to doing like if you're going to play two tight ends, like you were just saying, doing like Waller and Dalton Schultz, like two tight ends from the same game that
take Knox out of there and put Schultz in there.
Yeah, that are both going to be really heavily involved.
Now you're left with very little money left to fill out a running back and a wide receiver spot, though.
Right, that's the problem.
So I mean, I guess you go.
Yeah,
it's really tough, and you really have to sit here when you're building your lineups tomorrow, and you got to input. You put people in, pull them out. You kind of got to play around with it a lot because it's not good. I mean, I guess you could throw Singletary in there. You're getting not much left, but is that any better than what I just did? I don't know.
No.
It's no worse than what I just did, but it makes it really difficult. But I want to try something else here because you brought it up, and I haven't done this yet. I want to just check out what it does for me. If you go, say you go Derek Carr, say you put Waller in there, and I don't know, who else do you like from that Raiders team if you were going to go wide receiver? Renfro?
Probably Renfro would probably be my next
Renfro
pick.
or Deshaun Jackson. I don't know. You could even put your Bills defense in there if you like that defense. Now all of a sudden you got a hell of a lot more money left. You can go Ingram. You can go Montgomery because you like both of those guys. Now you got 5,600. You can go. You said you liked Marcus Callaway. You go him. I don't know. You could bring in Diggs because we like that game. Then that leaves you with nothing left down there. Oh, it's really. This is really a lot harder than it seems when you're building lineups like this.
I feel like it's going to be one of those weeks too, where like some weeks you make a lineup and you're like, oh my god, I love this team. This is a great lineup. It's going to be a lineup that no matter what you do, you're kind of going to look at it and be like, oh. This is kind of sick because you're going to have to put guys in that are low owned and cheap that are going to be probably awful plays. But you got to find a way to make yourself unique. This might be a week too. I was thinking about this of not doing the standard stacks. You know how last year we would talk about stacking two guys from the same team without the quarterback, like doing a running back and a receiver or a receiver and a tight end without the quarterback and then doing a different quarterback. That might be a way to get unique. Maybe throw in Dak, but don't use the Dallas stack and then come back with like a stack from the Buffalo game or something. I don't know, but
that might be a better way to go about it, actually.
Yeah,
but you definitely in a 3-game slate, you got to get super creative
for sure.
That's going to be the tough part tomorrow morning. I'm not even filling these lineups out till tomorrow morning because you just really need to think about it really hard. And
you're going to have to see, too, some of these injuries. I mean, you're going to have to see if Ingram plays. That's going to be a huge one.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be tough.
Who would be the backup if Ingram doesn't play?
I have no clue.
bring this up real quick. Let's see who's playing if he doesn't play. I can't even see it. That doesn't even say there. Let's just sort this out real quick here. So if Ingram doesn't play, you got T. Jones Jr. I don't even know what the T stands for, but that would be your next running back in line, Tony Jones Jr., who hasn't had more than 4 points in fantasy since week 1. So he hasn't even played from week 5 to week 10.
Right.
So I'm guessing he hasn't even dressed, or if he did dress, he was just special teamers. So you're not really being left with too much there at all.
No. Yeah, you could just be
I think
unique.
tomorrow's going to be more of a day. I think tomorrow's going to be a more fun day betting wise than it is fantasy wise. You know, I like taking the lines and the points and the under. I like the Raiders and the points. I'm not sure about the over under in that game, and I like giving the points and taking the Bills tomorrow as well. I think they're your best options bet wise, but I think there are games that the betting aspect of it will be a little bit more enjoyable because you can theorize how a game's going to play out a little bit easier betting wise tomorrow,
For sure.
and picking out which guys are going to score the points.
For sure. I was thinking too earlier when you guys were talking about like what you like about the Thanksgiving Day games and stuff. I think the best part about the games being on pretty much from 12 until 11 at night is that you can kind of like watch it in the background. Like you don't have to sit there and watch every play of every game. Like especially these, that first game's so bad, but you can like kind of go in and out of watching football for like 11 hours tomorrow. So that's what I love about it.
I know I will be. So
yeah, me too.
Real quick, I got to touch real quick on the Eagles-Giants game because this is my last show before the Eagles game. Eagles play the Giants on Sunday. I think the Eagles win. It is a trap game, like Scotty said, but our boy Jason Garrett got fired as offensive coordinator.
The Clapper.
Mr. Clapper. And I don't know if you were watching the game, the Giants Monday Night Football game against the Buccaneers. Were you watching any of it?
No,
in the hospital?
No.
There was a scene. Did you see the highlight of Daniel Jones' really bad interception late in the game?
Yeah.
When he threw it to the lineman. After that play, Jason Garrett was on the sideline trying to coach or talk to or whatever Jason Garrett does. I don't know if you can call it coaching. He had, Daniel Jones there, and he was trying to show him stuff. And Daniel Jones was like looking away, like, I could give two craps, you know what I mean?
Right.
About what you're saying. And you actually see Jason Garrett like smack him on the leg and be like, yo, pay attention. And Daniel Jones looks and just shrugs and looks away. And that just doesn't show me that they had no faith in Jason Garrett, but it shows me that team's lost faith in Joe Judge, each other. It's another Nagy situation in the Bears. The team's just a dumpster fire, even though they have, 3 wins now. So I don't even need to break down the Eagles-Giants game per se. As long as the Eagles play even mediocre football, it should be a pretty easy win and pretty big blowout for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you think Judge is on the hot seat? I feel like he has to be.
Originally, about 7 or 8 weeks ago, I said he was going to be the first coach fired in the NFL this year. So I think he's been on the hot seat all year. And I actually think that there's a chance if he doesn't get fired in the season, after the season, the Giants may fire him, Gettleman, and not re-sign and bring back Daniel Jones. I mean, I could see the Giants going complete reset on that team there. You got young Tony and wide receivers there. You've got a young offensive line. Just start all over with the leadership from the top down.
Well,
and I could actually see that happening.
Gettleman's probably the biggest problem. I heard today they're 19. I think it's 19-51 or something since he took over. I mean, if anyone should be blamed, it should be him. I know that Garrett took the fall for the team and everything, but Judge kind of coaches like Matt Patricia in a way of he demands respect and he's having guys do push-ups in practice. You want to know a good way to lose your pro football team? Make them run Oklahoma drills or make them do push-ups in practice. That's a great way to lose. It's you have to earn that, and they're used to coaching with Belichick, who has 7 Super Bowl rings, that he can do that. But you can't do that if you're, Joe Schmo off the streets in your second year coaching.
Yeah. I mean, they're not kids. They're grown-ass adults. They're making $100 million. You can't treat them like kids. So no, I agree with you. That whole franchise is a disaster. And I never thought Daniel Jones was a great quarterback prospect, but I kind of feel bad for him because he was put in a position and a situation where he probably couldn't succeed. No, you're good. I know you got to go. So we're going to wrap this up with one little fun segment real quick here. I'm going to take this shared screen off here, and I'm going to bring something else up. I did this on the morning show with the other Jason today, and I want to show it to you, and I want to see what you think. One's got to go, bro. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It's my favorite eating day of the year. You got to eliminate one. We know Jax likes his turkey. Which one is Jax eliminating first?
Jackson would eliminate the stuffing. I said that on Twitter, and you said that's because I don't know how to cook stuffing, which is true. I do not know how to cook stuffing. I have made Thanksgiving dinner 2 years in a row, however, and it has been delicious 3 times overall. But stuffing is not my strong suit. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
For me, this is green bean casserole. I'm not a green bean guy.
Yeah. No, I'm not a green bean guy, but personally, I don't know what ham is on Thanksgiving. You don't ever put ham in Thanksgiving dinner. That's my thing.
No.
I'll eat every single other thing on there but the ham. Ham's the worst meat in the world. And stuffing, I love stuffing, but normally we end up just making stovetop because stovetop is the best.
It really is.
One thing I will warn everybody, if you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, if you're cooking the bird, don't forget to unstuff the innards that are in the turkey when you unwrap it tomorrow. I guess I forgot to do that last year, and I cooked it with everything inside. It was delicious. No one got sick and died, but I kind of forgot to unstuff the turkey before cooking the turkey yesterday. So that's a little side note that I've learned there.
Tip number 2, make sure the turkey is thawed all the way before you start cooking it also.
Well, there's a funny story because it was frozen when we got here to the Poconos on Sunday. We left it outside and it was thawing out just for a few hours, and we kind of forgot to bring it in. And it got so cold on Sunday night, it refroze by Monday morning. So I don't know. It's in the fridge now. I think it's thawed. I'm not positive. We'll find out tomorrow when I unstuff the innards and then start preparing the turkey tomorrow because
so are you
that'll
cooking?
be all me.
You're cooking?
What's that? I do all the
turkey?
cooking. I do
Nice.
all the cooking here. I made spaghetti for everybody tonight and lasagna and homemade meatballs and all that today.
Dang.
We've done a lot of cooking up here. We've got enough food to feed 25 more people in this house,
See?
and we're only here for 3 more days. So
Good old Italian boy right there.
that's right. That's what I do. Got to cook. You got to put me in charge of the cooking. It's all good.
For sure. No doubt about it.
Anyway, Jason, this is a fun, fast show. I just want to make sure we did something this week. Again, it's more about saying thank you to our followers and our listeners of our shows, Fantasy Golf and the Fantasy Football shows that Jason and I do. I'm super thankful for everybody that watches them and supports us, all our guests, the Robs, the Drews, the Hunters, everybody that comes on our shows on a regular basis. I'm super thankful. I'm super thankful for everybody who watches Trending for 4 Quarters and Trending in the AM. I'm super thankful for you, Jason. Become a good friend, and I thoroughly enjoy doing these shows with you. So I like to be very thankful and emotional on Thanksgiving. So that's all I got there.
No, I agree with you, buddy. We mentioned it. We met on Twitter, just randomly talking on Twitter, and we become like actual friends in real life, which is really cool. That's the best part.
Vacation together. I've hung out on the beach with your son. You know, that's what's so crazy about it and the small world. But yeah, I mean, it's a super awesome a feeling to be thankful for everything that's gone on the last year, the last 2 years with this with all the shows that we've done together. So yeah, I want to tell everybody happy Thanksgiving one final time. I know you want to get Jax tucked in the bed and get some sleep yourself.
For sure.
So I'm going to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving one final time, and I'm just going to say, hey, let's all have some great turkey tomorrow, and we'll get back at it all next week.
That's right. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.